My name is Paige Reiser, and the painting that my group and I decided to discuss is Picasso Goes to Heaven. We chose this painting because as we were scrolling through the gallery, it was very colorful and captivating and just kind of caught all of our eyes. So we thought that this would be a perfect painting to use for this project. This was painted by Red Grooms, who was initially born in Nashville and became an artist. He's known for his colorful, high pop creations, and this painting definitely aligns with that. Going along with that, the style of his painting is known for his playful, cartoonish aesthetic, and Grooms created this shortly after Picasso died in 1973. And I think that Picasso being surrounded by characters and figures just perfectly represents his art and his life. The media is etching with watercolor applied with stencils, and the size is 182.5 by 196 inches or 15.2 by 16.3 feet. The formal element of art I decided to discuss is space. I think that this one is really important for this particular piece because, as I said before, it is completely filled from top to bottom of characters and figures surrounding Picasso. So instead of creating an open spatial field like most people will describe heaven as, he obviously used compressed and claustrophobic spatial depth to describe Picasso's life and death. I also agree with this. I don't think that heaven is an open field where you just get to run free. I think that it's everybody's personal piece, and I think little parts of your life and what's important to you will be there as well. So I agree with what Grooms was trying to kind of put behind this painting.
Hi, my name is Stefania Quinn. I'm a transfer student currently on my senior year pursuing my professional bachelor's degree. Right now, I'm going to talk about time and motion. Even if the artwork is a static image, it generates a strong sense of movement thanks to the fluid lines, overlapping shape, and a dynamic composition. The fragmented forms making scenes like different moments are happening at the same time, creating a sense of continued action rather than a frozen moment. The sense of time and motion also supports the title of this art, Going to Heaven, suggesting a journey from one place or state to other. From my personal perspective, when I first saw this art, nothing was completely still. But after the movement, the shapes, and the line, it made me feel like the painting was alive.
Hi, my name is Grayson, and the formal element that I chose is value. And value is kind of just how light or dark something is in an artwork. And in Picasso Goes to Heaven, they do use a lot of value. Um, and it starts with the light blue background that he uses, which kind of makes the scene feel light and open, which is kind of like if you were to look up at the sky on a sunny, clear day. He then adds darker outlines and shadows around the characters, which kind of make them stand out from the lighter background, which is really what catches your eye first when you look at the painting. While the lighter background kind of fades back, so your attention goes straight to all the people. And even though there is so much mess in this piece, as you can see, like it's absurd, the value does help organizing it, creating some depth between the background and the foreground is just the front of the painting. So overall, it does have a lot of light colors, and I think those small shifts between the light and dark are just what gives the piece so much value and structure.
Hi, my name is Hafsat Qasim. I'm a business major and currently a freshman pursuing a bachelor's degree. I'm going to be talking about how texture and pattern is present in the art piece titled Picasso Goes to Heaven. First of all, there are sharp black lines with watercolor and stencil being used here. There are lots of zigzags and horizontal or vertical lines here. If you look carefully in the middle, you'll notice on the clothing of the two figures that they both have checkered patterns. To me personally, I think with all these different textures and patterns happening here, it feels like when you're trying to focus on something, but there are so many things around you that are happening that can distract you. That's just how the artwork feels to me personally. So yeah.
Hello, my name is Isabella Quinones. I am going to be a freshman pursuing a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So our group chose Picasso Goes to Heaven by Red Grooms, and the formal element that I chose to explain is shape and volume. The artist uses a lot of exaggerated irregular shapes and large rounded forms to make the figures appear almost like three-dimensional. You can see that a lot in the big central figure, the brown man, like with his mouth open. The oversized figure creates a lot of volume, making it stand out from the rest of not the busy work, but there is a lot going on in this painting. The overlapping shapes create a lot of movement and make the artwork feel just exciting, I guess.